welcome back. The OYAYONE Foundation is a dedicated NGO committed to supporting underprivileged single mothers at the grassroots level in Namibia. Now, the name Oyayone translates to net caster, symbolizing their mission as hunters for those who have been lost in the margins of society. They are driven by passion to facilitate social progression by empowering Namibian women with the tools and opportunities to become owners and managers of productive economic assets. Now, to share more on the overall objective of the foundation is one of the board directors, Rochelle January. Rochelle, a very good evening to you. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Good evening. Thank you so much for having me.
So what specific programs, if I may, and initiatives does Oyayone Foundation have in place to support the underprivileged single mothers at the grassroots levels here in the country?
Yes, so in line with our vision as an organization, I think the most important thing for us is to break the cycle of poverty by actually providing access to basic needs. And we do this by linking the single mothers to a safety social net. That is one of our targeted interventions that we have in place, is to link them to a social safety net, because we want them to have access to opportunities, and sometimes that is not possible because of some of the constraints that are brought on by either capacity or resources.
How does your foundation measure the impact of its work on the lives of the women that it serves as well as their communities?
Yes. So like you rightfully explained, I think the most important thing for us is that we stay true to the name Oyayone, which is a net caster that is hunting for those that are lost. And I think the most important measure of our success would be that no one is left behind. So we are looking forward to see how we can actually hold the hands of the women that we work with in the communities and make sure that no one is left behind.
Well, provide us with some examples of success stories or notable achievements resulting from the foundation's efforts. I'm sure you have many.
Yes, but I think the most important thing for us is that in 2023, we actually launched our first ever The Status of Women report in Namibia. And this was actually a very essential tool for us that we utilized when we came up with the interventions and the programs that we wanted to undertake as an organization, because based on the data that we analyzed while busy with the report, we saw how far the country has come and significant strides that were made and the areas that still need development as far as women empowerment is concerned.
Well, an undertaking such as yours obviously needs a lot of partners or collaborations. Which organizations or government agencies or stakeholders do you guys have to further your mission?
Yes, so I think one of the most essential partners that we have is actually the women that we work with, because they would need to have a say in the programs that we design for them. And additionally, we're actually in the foundational phases of looking for strategic partnerships with the government through the various ministries, because ours is not to reinvent the wheel. We're looking at ways in which we can actually supplement the work that the government has been doing through the work that we want to do. Yes.
So let's talk about how the foundation addresses the unique challenges and needs of single mothers, particularly in the context of economic empowerment and social transformation.
Yes, thank you. So for us, our interventions are based on 3 pillars. Firstly, we look at education, and then we look at health, and then we look at economic empowerment. Now, these 3 we believe are important because they have different facets, and we want to redistribute, repurpose, and revision the women that we work with, and we cannot do that by just focusing on one specific area. So in the pillar that relates to education, we're looking at formal education. The pillar that relates to health, we're looking at sexual and reproductive health. And the pillar that relates to economic empowerment, we're looking at financial literacy, we're looking at employment, we're looking at business creation and entrepreneurship. Yes.
So how does the foundation involve the women that it serves in decision-making processes and also planning of some of its programs?
Yes. So our mission is just to provide keys for access to opportunities, and we obviously cannot do that without the women that we want to work with. So what we are doing is case study and identification, where we understand what are the unique challenges that the people in the communities have, so that we can come up with tailor-made solutions and interventions for these people. And also our board, we have adequate female representation to make sure that in the conversations where we have about the intervention and the programs that we need to undertake, that the female voice is heard.
And also elaborate a little bit on how individuals or organizations that are interested in supporting the foundation's mission can get involved or even contribute to its work.
Yes, so our call to action is clear: united, prosperous, and inclusive Namibian house. And I think we need all hands on deck for that. So we have various ways in which organizations and individuals can get involved, either through in-kind contributions of their time and resources. And all this information can be accessed on our website. And we are looking forward, obviously, to forming strategic partnerships with everyone who has a shared interest in the work that we do.
And perhaps just how do you identify which women to work with?
All right. So what we're currently doing, and we're working on the ground in about 4 regions in Namibia, is that we have different sort of town hall set up where we send out invitations to working with the constituency officers and so forth to understand what are the challenges that women experience. And then we also have our team working with the women, talking to them, having interviews, doing interviews with them to understand the specific challenges that they have.
Right, so basically you build on the women, because you were talking, let's go a little bit back to what you were talking about, the 3 pillars.
Yes.
It was education,
health,
and
economic empowerment.
Yes. And this is specifically for the women. What about their extended families?
Yes, so
the children that they
so
have.
Our tagline is we want to build a lasting inheritance for women and their children's children. So it's not only that we want to empower first base, we're also looking towards making sure that whenever the woman is not in that house or that community anymore, that her children can actually benefit from the legacy. And that's why we think it's important that women should be able to participate productively and to own economic assets as well. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Well, let me thank you so much, Rochelle, for coming to the studio and for sharing that information with us. And we certainly wish you all the best in your deliberations.
Thank you very much for having me.
Well, Rochelle January, who is from the OYAYONE Foundation, which is dedicated to or committed to supporting underprivileged single mothers at the grassroots levels here in Namibia. We shall continue with our program just after this short break, so don't go away.